a pretty serious unit right there.
We are live.
Mm-hmm. Hey guys, we'll let people collect in a little bit. Kick it off, Mr. Adam Rayberg here.
So,
what's up?
Honored to be here. Glad to finally make an appearance in the studio.
Yeah, I like that you brought a robot with you.
Me and my good friend Otto.
Usually you just bring a beard, so it's a big bonus tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just hang out. We've got Josh back there in production. He will be feeding us any questions you might have for me or mostly Adam here. I suspect you're sick of me at this point. So, but yeah, we're in my wheelhouse right now, buddy. This is Bridgestone Ball Central, which, you know, we've had a bit of an emotional ride.
Yes, absolutely. We've got some new balls to talk about that we launched a month or so ago. We've got Otto here, so we got plenty of topics to kind of go over for sure.
Okay.
People are saying hello, guys.
All right. Hey, guys. Welcome. A little bit of like a last minute plan. We have to do it. It's kind of like a THP Tech Studio staple for the industry folk who join us.
Can you guys move forward so you're not in this, you're getting washed out?
Yeah. We'll
go right up here. And
get out of the overhead projector.
I got a weird tan this winter. That's what it was.
Yeah, I see that.
But yeah, Coeur d'Alene, number 14, has claimed many a victim. So
yeah.
How many? We're gonna hit some balls eventually.
It doesn't even look at the pins on the green. It's pretty tight over there.
We got 167. What are you hitting for that? Pitching wedge?
No, that's a hard little 8 for me, man.
Okay.
A turned on 8. I may have to go back and hit a 7. I haven't even hit a shot yet, so we'll see.
They'd like to know if you're jealous of his joggers.
Oh yeah. So here's the deal. We had a bit of a post drive, and I made a thing that I was going to buy joggers.
Oh, yeah.
And I bought like the wrong pair of joggers, so it didn't go great.
Yeah.
So I haven't quite made it on the course with them yet, but obviously you can give me some pointers.
Oh, I'm a total jogger golf guy. I love to play in them, and it's gotten to where I don't want to wear like regular pants. It feels like I'm just out there. Easy, normal, regular pants people.
Pants.
I know.
Just get off.
Yeah. I like the joggers. I wear them a lot. Dan at work always kind of looks at them because he thinks it's cool and he likes them. But
okay.
Yeah.
Did you buy him some?
I don't know. I don't know if he can pull off the joggers, but we'll see.
All right. Maybe if he joins us here next time, he can throw on a pair.
That'll be the apparel uniform, some joggers.
The cargos, though, that's a mixed bag. We might have to start a thread on that on the forum.
You know, like when I was in high school, right? Everybody had the cargo shorts. And we even had, remember the zip-off ones that turned into shorts?
Yeah.
So, like, my wife had a giggle about these because this is so old. This is like me in like 8th grade cargo. Yeah. And I guess they're coming back a little. So she was like, what are you going to do with those little pockets? And I was like, we put some balls in there and stuff. She was giving me a hard time about the cargos, but I think it's funny.
This is an interesting comment. They say the beard gives you credit to pull off the joggers.
Okay, so
there you go.
We're gonna repeat that. The beard gives you credit to pull off joggers. I don't know. I mean, I think it looks great. I think the shoes make the whole setup. There's an awful lot of. It almost looks like they have their own parachute built into them. I think they're sick.
Yeah, I like the shoes. I like the cool speckles on the bottom and stuff. So yeah, I guess
I like the Bridgestone soft good, man. That's a nice looking hat.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites. This was actually a last year generation hat. It's out of the line now, but I really like it. I play like softball, baseball in it, and I usually play some sports in it and enjoy doing that because it breathes a little, so I can get some cool air onto the top there. So I like the hat.
So are you like in mid-season form yet, or is this going to be ugly?
It's going to be ugly. I don't think I've played golf in a month or so. I mean, I sporadically get out there occasionally, but I just haven't played in a while.
Okay.
The weather's been a little iffy in Atlanta. It's been raining. It rained a lot in kind of late February, early March, so it was kind of nasty.
Your wife's on, Adam.
Yeah, yes.
No pressure now.
Lindsay, I know.
Ball.
Thanks for coming onto the live, honey. Appreciate it.
Can you walk people through Otto?
Yeah, we're definitely going to start. All right, have we got a solid group in now?
Yeah.
Okay. Adam, you've brought a robot. We had to drag it up some stairs, and by I did absolutely nothing.
You watched us.
Yeah, I carried your golf bag.
Moral support. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. But we've seen a little bit of information on this, a couple videos. But yeah, let's walk through what is called Otto.
So Otto is short for autonomous. It is an autonomous fitting cart. And so what we wanted to build is something that would work to consumers to fit them into the right golf ball without having a fitter there. You know, think of it like if you're going to the grocery store, you can go through the self-checkout aisle or you can go to an associate. So we still have somebody out there doing live ball fittings. Sam Fu is our great master fitter. But then now we have kind of a self-checkout aisle. So what it's kind of doing right now, it's still in its like just finishing up its like prototype phase where we're testing it at some courses. Kind of after the Masters, we're going to launch a little bit more of a plan that they're going to go out nationwide. But what Auto does is you walk up and you kind of go through the motions and it fits you into the right golf ball for your game.
Bridgestone Golf's autonomous ball fitter. And I'm ready to get started with your ball fitting and help you find the right ball for your game.
Why do you sound so happy?
Yeah, so I don't want to give it away, but I mean, the thing is if you walk up to it, it's going to talk you through the process. It has its own voice. It asked you a couple questions based on your game. Exactly. And then it has a launch monitor built right into it. So it's going to get all your numbers. And then when you've hit your 3 shots, it's going to give you a golf ball recommendation. I think we're going to go through it a little bit more in the next day or so. But right now, just kind of talking you through it. And you give a little information about your ball, what ball you play, you know, if you want more spin, if you want more distance. That way we can start guiding the fitting, just like in a live ball fitting.
So the first question I guarantee will come up because we are THP, which represents the hacker's paradise, is you said 3 balls, and that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
2 things kind of straight to my mind here as just a regular guy who has seen people cave under pressure. Myself has choked a little bit when you get emotional in front of a fitter trying to prove something. So is it like 3 balls and you're done, like go away, or is it like you pick 3?
No, what it's going to do is it's going to kind of take those 3 and it's going to show potential. So it's not like a normal ball fitting where we average them together, because in a normal ball fitting, me or Sam's going to be sitting behind the desk. We're going to be running the laptop and we'll say, hey, can you hit another one? Let's grab another, or, hit one more. We can have you hit till you feel good. So what Auto does is we've set up some standard deviation parameters. So obviously if you top one or you hit one, there's some spin numbers that if you get over a certain amount of spin for your driver, Auto is going to politely to ask you to hit another ball.
Try again,
yeah. So it'll kick out some kind of outliers. So if you get up there and cold top the first one, he's going to ask you to hit another one. And then so what it'll do is it'll kind of look at your potential and take one of your better drives and give you information based on that.
It would be awesome if on certain days you could make it be me.
So we've thought about that. We've thought about giving it different types of voices. Like if you're up in Boston, we could have like a wicked accent coming out of it, and if you're down in like lower Alabama or North Florida, you can have like a southern accent. But you would just have me do the voiceover and say.
So when I get directions in my car, I get really cranky when it's bossy. But if it's an Australian person, I'm super like,
or like a pirate would be cool, right?
So, let's do like Pirate Week on Auto would be super cool. We need to get Josh actually on audio here because he's like heckling us in the background, but they can't hear it. So I might have to repeat some of this madness that's going on. But I have a question. So the last time you and I really got together with a golf club in our hands, you did some heckling of me. You were nowhere near as polite as he was. And we ended up fitting me into Rx, which has been a real gem to my golf game. Do you think over the next day we're going to see a different result?
Well, I don't know. It just depends. I remember vividly why we fit you into Rx, because you did have high spin with your driver. So we were able to kind of knock some of that spin off. And, obviously our balls are built with a swing speed story. You exceed the over 105 swing speed, but still fit into the Rx. The swing speed's there to kind of get you in the right mindset. And it works for probably 90 to 95% of the time. It's a way that most consumers can get fit right into the ball for them right off the bat. If they walk into a shop, they know I swing under 105. I'm going to be Rx, Rxs. During a fitting, occasionally we'll see a player that prefers the Rx because it's going to knock down a ton of spin. Usually the X will get it there, but the X didn't get it there for you. So usually the X compared to the XS will knock away enough spin to kind of get you down on driver, straighten it out. But you need a little bit more spin knocked off. And some people also prefer the soft feel of the RX in compression wise, not cover, but compression wise, you know, hitting that shot with their mid irons and up to driver, they just prefer that softer feel.
Okay.
And this seems like a good transition into the new golf ball line, because I just had a question about, can you go through the differences between the X and the XS?
Yeah. So one of the things I was going to say for those of you listening on, if you have questions for Adam tonight, whether it's about auto or the new balls, do not be afraid to ask. We've got him for as long as we need. So, so far as I know, like 3-4 hours.
Oh yeah,
yeah. For everyone, we got a long battery on this. Actually, I think it's plugged in. So yeah, we're golden. But someone had asked the difference between, what was it, Josh?
X and XS.
X and XS. So that let me lead this in,
okay?
Because we actually have an awesome video on THP TV on the YouTube that breaks down all 4 of the previous line Bridgestone balls.
Right.
And we saw something like 13 or 1400 RPMs of spin difference between your high spin ball and your lowest spin ball, which would be, I believe, XS to RX.
Yep, correct.
So how much of that, let's lead this in a little bit by saying how much has that changed based on the video we have out there that we can share?
Sure.
And then what are we looking at for the new lineup?
All right, so the biggest difference between the lineup now versus the previous version, I'll start with the outside. The most important change we had was the reactive IQ cover. All the balls got a little bit more spin around the greens. The reactive cover in the previous version was designed with impact modifiers that make the ball fast off driver and then spin more around the greens. That sounds like, oh, what a marketing thing to say, right? But let me explain. What we did is we added new materials to the inside makeup of the cover. So the actual urethane has different pellets that we mix in. It's not just a softer urethane or a firmer urethane, which is typically what you would do. If you wanted a very soft ball spin around the green wise, you would put a soft urethane like a Shore D 38. And then if you wanted a firm ball that had a little bit more distance, you'd put a Shore D 55 or something on there. That's kind of the numbers that, you know, are on the cover. But what we did is we actually mixed in more material, you know, an additive into the cover. So what that did is it makes the cover act differently on different impacts. So when you hit the ball hard, when you're swinging very fast, it firms up and it reacts to the force applied to it. And then when you're hitting around the green, when the club's coming in at a slower speed, you want to be able to hit it harder and it feels softer so you can hit it. So a lot of our tour players, sometimes it's tough to explain it to an everyday golfer, but you know, Tiger and Bryson and all those guys want to, quote, hit the ball harder on wedge shots and it feel like it's sticking on the face so they can be more aggressive. You know, when you hit, obviously when you go to the range and it's a really firm range ball, sometimes it's cold, and you hit those wedges and it feels like it just comes off so fast and barely touched the club. That's not what you want with a wedge shot. You want it to feel like it sticks on the face. Tiger calls it dwell time. You know, Bryson calls it impact time. There's different things to call it, but you want to feel like it's on there a long time. So that impact modifier makes it act soft because you're not swinging very fast, so it stays on the face longer. And obviously, there's balls that are built for distance in the X, and there's one that's built for more spin and control in the XS. But all of them have the new reactive IQ cover, which gives them a little bit more bite around the green. I know the X got a lot softer as far as around the greens. We worked with Bryson, you know, for 18, 20 months on that golf ball, and you know, he wanted a little more control with his wedges. He also wanted more control from the rough. That was a big thing that we were working on with him on that golf ball, and that translated into all of them as well.
So we got a bunch of these questions, and I answered it in the chat, but you guys can talk about it a little bit about the Tiger ball and the XS ball being the same. There was some confusion there. And then Darren with a really fun question, which is, will Tiger be using this ball next week?
Okay, so we're getting some feedback in the air here about the Tiger ball versus the XS. Whether there's differences there.
So the Tiger ball, the Tiger edition that has Tiger on the front of it, is exactly the same as the XS. The only difference with the Tiger edition is they're all number ones. Every sleeve is the number one, just like he plays. And then it says Tiger on the side of the stamp. It's not a prototype. It's not a different ball. It's just Tiger stamp, and they're all number ones that are the same as the XS. That's the way it's been since we launched that ball. He plays the retail version spec. It's a spinny golf ball. Doesn't fit a lot of people. You know, it is a you know, it is one of our fits that it's somebody who, you know, Tiger doesn't produce a lot of spin off driver and long irons, and he wants a ton of spin around the green. So that's not your typical golfer, but there is people out there that do like a lot of spin around the greens and can control driver spin, and that ball kind of works that way.
there's something interesting. We've been doing some iron testing in the studio today, and throughout the course of the Tech Studio, we've experienced the ability to sort of mirror or engage the golf ball with a club head to sort of support the design elements that are in play. So like if you have a hollow body iron, for example, and you're just not producing the spin you're familiar with, that's an opportunity for someone to jump from X to XS or something like that and still maintain that spin that they're really comfortable with. And I think that's one thing I've always really enjoyed about the Bridgestone story is you have 4 basically compartments or conditions that you play your balls in. It's not like you're one and done. We talked about this a ton on a couple of our videos. Like, look, it's not just that you got fit into RX. You could play X. Yeah. But you're sort of maximizing this current profile. Because I had some blades in the irons, which obviously promote spin. And a driver that wasn't particularly low spin. Whereas if I switch the next year to a lower spin head, then suddenly, X is right back in play, and I've got monster ball speed again. So,
yeah, totally. I love the XS because I love a bunch of spin on like 120 and in. So I do the same thing. I kind of build everything else to where I could stay in that ball. Hey, a lot of people don't do that. I'm a ball nut. So some people do the other way. They build their bag and, then they match a ball to it. But I love the XS and I love the spin so much that like I work, I got to have a low spin head driver, to keep it down a little bit and things of that nature. But you're totally right. There's different balls that you can kind of move around to. And, the cutoff at 105 already gets you in a compression that's going to work best for you based on all the ball fitting we've done over 15 years. And then you have an option of, a ball that is urethane, but is not going to have a ton of spin. It still gives you a soft urethane feel in the RX. And then you could play the RXS if you're that person that wants a little bit more wedge spin and likes to spin the ball back to the hole.
So I have kind of a weird question, and we'll see if there's anything else from the producer.
Oh, and you see how I just totally skirted around the Tiger question. I don't know. I don't have any insider information. I want him there probably more than anybody. I'm a huge Tiger fan and always have been. But I wouldn't doubt if he's going to be there, but I don't have any insider information other than hope in my heart.
Pretty much everyone. Yeah.
Cover changed the acoustics of the ball?
So the question coming in is, has the new cover changed the acoustics of the ball at all? And that doesn't need to be for one ball. It relates to all 4.
Yep, that's a great question. So there's a certain amount of that material that we put in each of them compared to last year. I can tell you that our Japanese friends, the R&D team in Japan, they work with Pioneer, the sound system company. So they work with Pioneer and they work on the acoustics all the time. So obviously the sound and the pitchiness a ball gives back to you can give you a metallic sound, and which is like a firm sound. That's like when you hit a range ball, it's firm, it's built for durability, it needs to be hard. It gives you that feedback, and that when you hit it, that's a hard golf ball. So what they did is they added more of this impact modifiers, and they found that it does change the acoustics slightly in a little bit more duller sound, which is good for urethane, because most of the time when you hit a urethane ball, you want that feedback, you want it to be solid. You don't want it to be quiet, to where it doesn't feel like you're hitting anything, which is sometimes in the lower compression ball, like the 2-piece category, you get some balls that feel like there's a silencer on them. You're not really doing much. And some people like that because it promotes a solid feel. It feels like you hit the ball hard. It feels like you compressed it. Exactly. Yeah. But I can tell you with the Reactive IQ, I can remember back when we got the final ball, the last prototype, we were in Dallas and we were working with Bryson, and we started with wedges, and he hit his ball first, boom, boom, boom. He hits his 3 or 4, and we switch over that one. He hit 2, and the first thing he looked back at us and said, "Man, this sounds different. Is it just me?" And then he hit a few more, and then he started popping back and forth to hear them, and he could tell that the X, which is, in my opinion, is always a good thing, because usually an X ball in any category across any brand usually promotes a clickier sound. The X is always, Pro V1X, Chrome Soft X. Usually the mantle layer is pretty firm. You're trying to bite against it, and it kind of gives you a clicky sound. So we really set out to kind of make it quieter. That way it promotes a little bit more spin and feel, and doesn't give you a harsh feedback of a very firm ball, which X is a pretty firm ball in our category, but it sounds a little bit quieter. That was a long explanation.
Yeah, that's good. No, that's
sorry.
That's what we're here for.
Scooby asked, would you consider selling mixed packs for testing?
So we want to know, would you consider selling mix packs for testing? Great question, Scooby.
That's a great question that I think we've been asked for 10, 12 years. That's a logistical question that I can't handle, but we've talked about it before. Like we've talked about fitting packs up on our website to where, you know, you could order the under 105 balls. You get a sleeve of X and XS or over 105 and vice versa, and then like a whole fitting pack. But, you know, I don't know if I have a great answer for that other than it's been asked before, and it's something that we've definitely looked into. And you know, unfortunately, I don't have an answer for that right now, but it's a great question. It's one that Dan, our president and CEO, has wanted and talked about before. If there's a fitting sample pack to where you can go through them and try them all out, and then that kind of leads you to the right one. But great question.
Have you guys been getting my my emails and my letters about changing the XS from blue to red, swapping it with the RX?
No. We'd never do that.
I think they blocked me like 2 years ago because I wouldn't stop.
You're on our do not call list. I'm just kidding.
Maybe I got an interesting question, and it says if Dan hits the robot with the ball, will he have to pay for it?
I'm told I'm going to hit the robot with the ball. First of all, it's not going to happen. Okay, there's been enough live streams in here to know I'm not the guy to do that. I mean, Dax isn't over tonight. Shout out to him. There's a chance he would do that. I don't know if he's been on the forum, but make sure to let him know I said that.
I have all the confidence in the world that's not going to happen. I've seen this guy hit the ball. He's fine.
You know, that would be.
Maybe are they talking about follow through or hit it with a ball? That'd have to be the toest opposite of a shank, or you'd have to shank the inside of the club.
Yeah.
And like go through your legs.
I don't think any of these clubs have been built by M-Ward either, so they're not coming flying off and smoking it either. I think we're in really good shape to not hit it.
We can do some lefty movements. Then
I would definitely hit it if I was lefty. So, no, I think I'm okay there.
I'm confident.
Your game's good enough that.
Well, I don't think I'm going to hit it behind myself, so that would be tough.
It looks pretty durable, man. Like, I think we're okay.
Dax said hello, Dan.
There's Dax right there. That's funny.
Yeah, maybe a follow through if somebody's flat, but I don't think so.
Yeah,
that's a long way away.
You would have to like follow through and fall into the water in Coeur d'Alene to make that kind of contact. I think we're good on that one.
Yeah.
So, any other questions coming through, Mr. Producer?
Oh, yeah, there's all kinds of questions. We're not going to be able to get to all of them.
Okay.
We want to have some fun in here. But,
lots of questions, he says.
That I found interesting that I got through social was why the fitting is designed on the box from 105 when.
So the question relates around why the
Yeah.
boxes are set up the way they are.
Why is it a 105? Yeah.
A couple of them say 105 plus. A couple of them say less than.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I think let me take a stab at this, and you can clarify for me. The understanding is that not everyone's super familiar there, and it's a nice starting point. And the more common it is to be in those positions, the more likely you are to fit into those two balls in that bracket. Is that pretty fair?
Nailed it. So pretty much it's kind of a line in the sand. You know, all the beginning years where we started with R&D and building it. I mean, way back when we were B330 and S, and that was the only two.
Yeah.
If you harken back, actually the X was designed for 115 was kind of the line. And then if you swung under, you use the S model. And then we introduced the RX and Rxs. That's old Bridgestone history lesson right there. But 105 is kind of that nice little line in the sand for R&D when they started looking at the data and looking at like how compression takes over reducing spin versus ball speed, because you don't want to lose ball speed.
Yeah.
Of course, we know that. But kind of that line to where we saw a big help. And so we saw people that when they started swinging under 105 and we moved them down to a lower compression ball, because obviously we tested them with both. When we were kind of making the story, designing it, building it, you know, we have guys who swing 95, they're hitting the firmer ball, they're hitting the softer ball, and we see kind of a nice little trend line to where, you know, distance moved up a little when they were below, and then people who swing faster, you know, they hit the RX well, but when they use the X, they would kind of see a little bit more bump in distance. So it's, you know, it could be 103.7 as far as the calculation and the algorithm where we run it, but 105 was kind of right at that nice line to where you kind of saw the cutoff. If anybody is like, I'm like 107, I'm kind of right in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
But anybody, when we do fittings, if they're around the 105, they have the luxury of kind of moving around, especially the guys that are over like yourself. So it's just a nice starting line to where if you swing 85 miles an hour, then you're kind of in the RX and Rxs.
Yeah.
You can play with them, but I'll tell you, from what I've seen in R&D, 9 out of 10, or most people, if they hit 10 RX swinging at 85 and they hit 10X, they're going to hit the RX a little bit further. It's going to give them what they need off their irons. It's going to launch a little higher with their irons. So, obviously, you know how launch goes with higher handicaps and how higher handicaps also follow swing speed. It's a fact.
Yeah.
So the RX launches a little higher. It's going to get the ball in the air for you. It's going to land at a steeper descent versus the X and the XS. Like, with the XS, I love to hit that low spinner that launches low but has a ton of spin. The RX is having a little bit higher flight and is going to land a little softer. So there's the thing of the construction of the ball that's kind of built all the way through the bag. And of course, we hear it all the time, right? Oh, you only fit the drivers. That's not true. That's how we fit you into the ball, but the balls are actually designed throughout the bag to do everything a person needs. So if you swing under 105, the ball isn't just built for you, driver 105. It's built to launch a little higher off your irons. It's built to give you the greenside spin that you need. So it's kind of all the way through the bag.
So I have some questions here that are more rapid fire answer. What is the most popular Torpy golf ball?
What is currently the most popular Torpy on the market?
That's a great question, because it's kind of neck and neck between Tiger's ball, the XS, and the RX. The RX has always been the more popular ball, but when we signed Tiger 5 years ago and he started playing the XS, everybody was. The funny thing about the XS is Tiger's, a lot of people wanted to try the ball because it's his and it has a ton of spin. I mean, it spun before Tiger, obviously, but a lot of our tour,
when it had a swoosh on it, or
well, no, when it was B330S is what I mean. But a lot of tour players that we've picked up have started using his ball. Like we just signed Jason Day officially about a month ago. Yeah, that was great. But he'd actually been playing the ball for a little over a year, and he literally started playing it because he played with Tiger and he saw him hit some shots that he said he wasn't able to do with the ball he was playing. And so he asked Tiger's camp for an XS, and so he gave it to him. So he played the XS for, I think, 2 or 3 months, and then he called us, and we weren't in contract, but we had the luxury of calling him and talking to him, and he kind of said, man, I really love it, but boy, is it really spinny off my irons, because he has a very Rory upswing, and I mean, he's spinning XS off his 9-iron like 11,000. So X is what he's playing now. He kind of gravitated to a ball that fits him a little bit better. Bryson's the same way. Bryson started off with B330S with us. Now he plays X. So, that journey to fit into the right ball can often start. And it kind of shows you that if some tour players are choosing a wrong one to start, then, when you walk into a store, you need to make sure to kind of read all the stuff and make sure you're getting the right one, or go through our online fitting or find something like that. Because, walking up and guessing is tough. You know what I'm saying? Like, so reading the back of the box is a very good help.
I want to circle around on that RX question, being one of the leaders. And obviously RX in color is very popular as well. Mm-hmm. Is there a percentage between white and yellow?
Ours probably isn't as big as some other brands as far as color or decorating the ball. I mean, yellow probably for us is less than 10%. Okay. And I know that's obviously not the case for a Callaway or a TaylorMade or something like that. But yeah, it's not as big as we would like it to be for us. But I mean, it is what it is. The market is yellow. For us, and that's all we have right now. We're working on some other things. I know there's some alignment aids on some other brands that are pretty cool, and we're working on some stuff with some of our tour players as far as focusing and aligning on the ball, and we could have some cool stuff coming out soon.
Yeah, you've always been fairly cautious, careful,
traditional
when it comes to stuff like that. But I think back to the history, even before I was playing the ball, I mean, you guys kind of pioneered that compression understanding. And I remember back in the day, guys using the Bolatas, and they started using the ladies.
MC Lady,
the ladies, and then you guys did the Laddie to kind of support that. And then suddenly we have this new serious urethane lineup that had, the depth that you need to really achieve scores.
Yeah, the MC Lady was the last number one ball in SKU in golf that wasn't named Pro V1.
Yeah.
So ever since then, it's been that. But we had the last ball that was a non-Pro V, the #1 selling in the market. But yeah, I mean, it dates back further than people realize. I mean, the RX was really kind of the tour child of E6.
Yeah.
And E6 was really built off the heritage of MC Lady, you know, and some of those that were soft compression, you know, back in the mid 90s when everybody thought, oh, you use a 90 or 100, that's what you use. But, you know, we had balls that were the MC Lady and, you know, the EV Extra Spin, which Nick Price loved and won a ton of tournaments, that were a little lower compression than even wound balls and stuff back then. So we've always been one to kind of lean towards a softer compression for, you know, everyday golfers for a little bit of help. But then, you know, obviously we make the balls for the tour players that are a little firmer and they could use as well. So the RX really was built off of that golf ball. And I wasn't with the company when they launched the RX in 07, but a couple guys in R&D was telling me that, like, when they got that prototype, it just, like, in your mind, because it's so different, it doesn't make sense, right? Oh, a tour ball has to be hard, you know, like, well, what are you going to do? And then people started hitting it, and, you know, you're hitting your driver 12 to 15 yards longer because you're actually getting spin down to, you know, 2,700.
And that was back in the day of drivers didn't exactly have low spin.
Yeah, they were low. The MOI was, you know, not in the right spot yet to make it, you know, low spin. So
everyone's playing 6 degrees on.
Oh yeah, and you know, you got big hosels on drivers, long hosels with pear shaped, and you know, you're trying to turn it down to take off spin. Where, you know, the construction of the ball. I mean, and look where we're now. Every brand has a soft core tour ball pretty much, you know, so
any chance the E5 comes back?
So the question got asked about E5. Let's talk about E-Series in general, because you do have E12 contact here. I found I think it was it E12 soft or was it E6 soft? I can't remember.
Yeah, that was the previous version. We went from E6 soft, E12 soft, and now the E12 contact.
I was like, number one, it was a colored ball. I think it was like a green version.
And
I was
green
like,
matte,
this is spicy. So I hit it and I lost it eventually. Like, man, I had a lot of fun with that ball. But what does E-Series look like? And it's particularly E5, because I remember E5, E6, E7. And it felt like everyone had a good price ball they could get.
So when I started working in the company, I was doing ball fitting out in the field, and the E-Series was 5, 6, 7. And we had the 5 that was a high launch, high spin. The 6 was a straight ball right in the middle. And then the 7 was like a piercing, firm, you know, kind of model. So we ended up paring down from that to a little bit of firm model and a soft model, and we lost the E5. And the E5 really kind of worked its way out performance-wise, because it started getting closer and closer to like an RX and the performance that. And we're not, you know, back then, and I know that the market is hot right now and more SKUs is a big deal for some companies, but we actually wanted to simplify it in a ball fitting sort of way. So we kind of moved away from E5 because the RX spin was getting kind of low enough down there to where it started to match up a little too much, to be quite honest. So the portfolio was lapping over a little bit. So the E5 kind of phased out, and we went to a firm and soft E-Series ball. And then we ultimately kind of blended those two and even simplified more the Surlyn distance category. So the E12 contact now is kind of right in the middle of those, kind of leaning a little bit more to the soft than it was to like the E7 or the other ball. But the E12 has the contact force dimple. It's designed to have a little bit more contact on the face. Obviously, a person that's using a Surlyn product is not looking for a ton of wedge spin. That's not number one in their market. You know, like it always kind of makes me laugh when, you know, people start using spin around the greens when they're talking about a Surlyn ball as far as marketing, because it's kind of not built for that, right? You know, you got a truck that's built to go through the mud and a Ferrari. You can't talk about them having the same things. They're really built for two different things. So the E12 contact really is the number one priority for that golf ball construction, is a straight flight off the tee, long irons, kind of keeping you there. So we all obviously want to spin the ball and spin around the greens, but this is for the person that is just not even getting themselves off the tee to score. You know, they're maybe pushing a couple out of bounds. This one's going to help them kind of move it in, you know, hit a couple more fairways and give them a chance to set up the hole to where they can play it in to get to the green.
So is E12 contact, is that in the lineup? We're going to see a little bit more coming out, or
the E12 contact is what's right now. And we're working on some new prototypes for that ball actually in the next few weeks. It's obviously going to be a new ball for next year. We just launched the Torpy, the E12. We're always kind of working on it. So the R&D team has some prototypes that they're working on now of this product. So we're always working on something new. We've got new Torpy that, you know, Japan is kind of already working on. So it's usually about a 24 to 36 month cycle on the golf balls. So it kind of never stops. We're already talking to our tour players about new Torpy products. So it's just an endless cycle of innovation.
So another question came through. They want to confirm that you do not have Tiger Woods news and you were not in Augusta, Georgia this morning.
So they're asking about Tiger Woods, Augusta, Georgia. You this morning. Where were you before you were here?
I heard
later. What's going on?
I heard a rumor he was on a flight up to there, but I was driving up to Nashville, so I was going the opposite way. So I don't have any extra information.
I'm sure you have his number. Let's give him a call.
Oh yeah, I might get in trouble if I do that. So I did see him just about a month ago at some content stuff we were doing, and he looked good, and he was in upbeat spirits, and physically he looked awesome. So, you know, I'm not surprised that what's going on and the rumors and stuff going on, but obviously we don't have any inside information. We hope he's there. We're banking for him, hoping that he's in there. Yeah,
for sure.
So it was exciting, all the news today on social about him up in the air and being there. So it could be a fun week.
Should we bang a few?
Yeah, we should hit a few.
I'm gonna let you lead this off.
Oh geez.
Yeah, I don't see why not. So we got 167 here. Like I said, the traditional.
I don't think I can get there cold.
Cold? I mean, you got room in front.
Are we at altitude and downwind and?
You know, I only do that when we're testing clubs here in the Tech Studio. So it is 154 to get on the green.
It's a carry. Okay.
I think you've got that.
All right, I should be able to do that. I don't know though. No, I definitely don't have that right out of the gate. I'm gonna have to whoop it in there.
All right, we are one of one.
There was the big old whoop.
Not breaking auto, so we have one win in our belt. Did that hurt?
Yeah.
We might find a Theragun
a little
for you.
Stiff. Oh, I got one of those, man. I love that thing. All right, that was a little too much whoop. Look, 167. There's the right stick.
So for those watching, what kind of player are you, Adam? Do you typically play pretty low? Do you hit a fade or draw? What's your normal shot?
I'd like to hit a little draw. Kind of that's my shot. What I just hit is just kind of move it in from right.
Someone just said Otto said please reteam.
That's cruel. First shot out of the
Golly,
game.
another.
I mean, you're getting it there.
Yeah, but it's just that I'm getting it closer.
Maybe if you put you in some RX,
I feel like I'm pushing it out there, but I'm not.
Don't worry, we're not live.
I gotta get it out there.
Man, I can tell you from experience that
166.
the crowd following along in that little camera thing back there, they are not
brutal.
They are not polite.
Oh man, I thought they were pulling for me.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I've got to hit it to the right side of the green, and then.
Can you tell Bunkersnot more about Tiger?
About what? Sorry.
The club he's hitting. I assume it's a Bridgestone.
So can we talk about this iron?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
There's a green.
Wow.
I was working it over.
Wow. So what do you have there? It's not a America spec, is it?
No, this is the Japanese market CB. Unfortunately, we were not able to launch this club in the U.S. this year. We want to bring back clubs, but it's the 201 CB.
We can show it.
Yeah, you can show it. Yeah, it's in the Japanese market. It's just a classic CB. You know, a little bit smaller footprint, heel to toe, kind of right in that wheelhouse of, you know, if you like the J40s back in the day.
A little cavity in here too. Is that just in the long iron?
Well, that's in the long irons. Yeah, I think at the 6 iron, it's kind of like a dual pocket kind of built into it.
That DPC action.
I know.
That's gonna freak out some THPers who've been around the forum for a long time.
Yeah. This
put
is
that in the
the
bag.
first time I'm hitting the 8-iron. I just got these built. I haven't even got a round under my belt with them.
It looks like you've got a lifetime at Georgia on most of them. Can I see that 8-iron real quick?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure he brought half of Atlanta with him.
Yeah,
on these
well, the
clubs.
pollen, yeah. Are you talking about the pollen? The
I was
pollen
talking about all the
is
dirt on him.
sick right now.
Are we playing some golf tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
first
so
round with those clubs.
can
So
we get
we'll
them
see.
cleaned up before we play?
Yeah, this one's brand new. Ain't even been hit.
Yeah, that looks good. Those
I
are
got a
some
little mat in the backyard, so I
sweet
hit
looking
some
irons.
shots out there
Okay.
for fun. Let's see if I can push this one to the right.
People want those clubs in the U.S.
Oh, a little thin to win.
They all sound like Canadian circa 2017.
You want to hit a few?
I can.
Hop in here and show me how
Okay.
to aim better.
Yeah, that's not happening. We had pizza
Jeez.
for dinner and
I think I gotta like
some T-Rav, Josh.
hit it over here.
Some toasted ravioli. Oh God! And I've been doing some work in the studio today. So,
No spin either.
oh, is this XS? That's terrifying. I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna put my ball. in play.
Hit your ball.
You see what this is? This is total internet golfer.
Yes.
Your ball's not good enough. For
Yeah.
me.
Hit your ball in the simulator.
I feel
It'd be
so
awkward if
judged.
you bust out like a different golf ball.
Yes,
Yeah.
it would. Little niner.
Oh, I hit an 8.
Oh, you're hitting 8. No, that's
We're
over.
gonna touch it.
Ooh.
Oh, just barely. Okay. That was
You got green on the first swing
that
though.
was 2 pieces of pepperoni in that swing right there.
Yeah. A little greasy there. Your little greasy swing.
Jeez. All right. We're
I'd like to
okay.
know, Adam, if you could discuss, are there plans to bring clubs back?
Sure. I mean, there's I'm a ball guy, so I don't want to speak out of turn, but I
might
can
be
tell
right.
you that it is a conversation that they do have with Japan, with our club guy, and we'd love to bring them back. Dan Murphy for sure has said he'd love to have clubs, so it's just something that unfortunately a few years ago we were distracted in the ball category, and we recentered our focus around golf ball, and clubs got pushed back a little bit, but I think moving forward, we it's got to be something we got to have.
And they'd like you to hit a different model so they can see the difference in spin and stuff.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Are they doing that because they actually want to see it, or just to mess with me?
Probably.
Yeah. All right. Let me give one more rip on this one as I sort of unfold my body, and then I can mix it
Yeah,
up.
what are we at spin wise?
So we are 6,800. Not really putting a great move on it. We'll get there. It's fine. A little bit heavy.
Yeah, a little drop kicky, but
That
it's
might,
okay. But it'll carry.
Yeah, let's do X. Why not? The competitor.
Dan, they'd like to know what club you're hitting.
So I'm hitting the Mizuno
Little 8-er from Decatur.
Mizuno Pro 221. And I can grab another club here in the studio if you guys want. We've switched to X. Because why not?
It's going to be about 67 probably.
Word window. These swings are atrocious. 7,000 right on the nose. 77,050.
A little more, yeah. We're like 64, 65 with RX.
Yep. I think every single one of them would send a giant divot into the water.
Yeah.
I'm swinging right now. Jeez. Well, I might be joining you.
Yeah, it's a little pulley.
First one.
Yikes.
I got Peanut Gallery in the back. You want to come swing a couple?
No, I'm too full.
Yeah, me too. All right, I'm going to hit one more, and then do you want to hit a few more?
Yeah, I'll hit a few. That was 64.
Yeah, that was
Little
like
shutdown phase.
shutdown and
yeah.
gross. All right. We're okay here. We're
They
okay.
asked, in comparison, as he's hitting this ball, how much higher would the XS go?
Compared to what?
What you're hitting now?
So how much higher would the XS go compared to the X?
Probably, if he spins it, if he spins X at 7,000, let's say he spins XS at like 74, then you're probably going to get 15 to 17 feet of more flight
swings.
And they'd like you to discuss the difference in feel between them.
Oh, that's so loaded. So that someone's asking about the difference in feel between the two. Well, first of all, when you hit this nice mat about a half inch behind the ball, there's not a ton of feedback. I certainly have my perspective on the previous models in that they do present a fair bit of audible difference. I think it's more noticeable, Adam, off like a putter.
It just depends on players because I can feel it a lot off driver, the differences between them, and definitely wedges, especially little pitchy wedges like let's say 70-in, a 70-yard and in shot is like where I can know if I'm hitting a Serlin ball versus versus a tour ball.
All right.
Michael Ward would like to know if you can club twirl.
No, I will not club twirl, Mike. And I did specifically call him Mike. So Adam's going to come back up and hit a few more.
I'm going to hit the biggest difference, XS to RX.
Oh, nice. Cool. Okay.
Show a little bit of – I think I'm a little lower spin than you on this shot. Just sad.
Oh, there it goes left again.
The old 8-iron.
Right, I'm out.
The old 8-iron used to have some spin.
God. I hit that, though. Finally.
Yeah, I hit a little cutty to get some spin. But I don't think I can get it there.
I think you should –
little cutty 8-iron.
I think you should hit like the normal swing you normally do.
Oh, yeah.
And let's see the difference in numbers for you.
All right. That was 7,000 with X is probably you hit 3 of them that were 7,000.
Pretty much on the nose, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So Adam's got RX in now.
No, this is still XS.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna hit
normal.
3 and see. Yeah, a little thinny.
I was gonna say you're on the opposite side from me right now.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a picker.
I'm still kind of just living.
That's a good shot though. I'll take it. But a little picky. What's spin? That's probably it should be 7,000 even though I thinned it.
Do we get
71.
71. So I mean, yeah, that's making a lot of sense for
usually it should be about 74 or 75 if I hit it solid with XS. How's it going? A little tuggy. Yeah, 7,000 again.
So a little bit of repetition. I like that. I'm going to the well for my next one.
All right, I'm going to hit one more with XS, and then I'm going to hit RX. RX should drop me down to 62 or 64.
You're predicting right now. Let's get some predictions in the chat. He's transitioning from the XS to the RX. What do you guys think from a spin perspective? We're both hitting 8-irons right now.
That ain't going to get there.
What do you think the number is for us?
Oh, it did get there. A little thin to win again. This is like...
You think like 6,200?
Yeah, probably 62, 63.
See, with my descent and how high I hit the ball, like that's my wheelhouse. I love that.
Oh, yeah? The low sixes?
From 63 to 67, 500 RPM drop.
Okay.
I'm probably going to hit this one past the pin, too. I usually hit it a little further, a little less spin. Or if you hit it fat, it don't go anywhere.
Down on that. You were trying to spin that ball, aren't you?
No, I just hit it fat.
Come on, cover.
That was a fat.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little chip in the punt.
Forgiveness for the RX. It helped me get there. But that spin's going to be super low because I hit the big ball first.
58.
Yeah.
97.
58. That was a little chunky.
Okay.
It should be about 62 or 63.
So, I mean, you are super knowledgeable about these products.
Yeah.
When you hit the different balls side by side, do you get into that like internet golfer moment where
Oh yeah.
you start swinging differently to try and accommodate?
No, I won't.
That's your best ball yet.
Yeah.
We got a ball switch here, folks.
Yeah.
He is unofficially moving to
What is
RX
it? What
for
was the spin on
2022
that?
season. We've got let's see here. Give it a second.
6,059. Yeah, just
wow.
I don't. That's a
Spectacular.
little low for me for RX, but
Windy days, buddy.
yeah.
Yeah.
8 feet to the pin.
Oh, that was thin. That ain't gonna get there.
It might.
No.
Oh, he caught a piece of wood.
I gotta hit another one good. That was terrible.
That's
I'm getting a little flat.
53.64.
Yeah, that was no spin. That roll off the back of the green probably. That was a good one.
That was nice.
Yeah, 61. That's kind of what I thought. 61,
I
63.
mean, here's the deal, though. You are just all over.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's fun to watch. So.
And so X should be right in between them.
Oh, so you moved to X now?
Yeah, I'm gonna hit an X.
Got you.
This should be, 64, 65, I believe.
So we're now into the Torpy X. Again, we're on 8 irons, and he's predicted 64, 65.
How's it going? Man, I swear it's just tugging it a little.
You are just living the dream on that. So here's the deal. You've hit that wood plank
I know.
7 times.
That's all me over
If
there.
we go into the real world right now
That's
and
68.
you have 100 shots to hit that wood plank
Yeah.
again, how many times do you think you
Could never do it.
Yeah.
Could never do it. Of course.
Luck only happens when you're not keeping score, right?
I'm not going to go back to the hotel. I'm just going to stay here and hit balls all night.
We've had that before.
You wouldn't be the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect.
That may
First
go
hole
in
in one.
That may go in the hole.
Come on.
It's a little to the right, I think.
Come on, roll out.
I'm not getting there. That's probably 60.
Someone said be stronger.
Yeah.
Oh, tough crowd.
Below the hole, man. Below the hole. What was spin on that one?
Just to bend those Bridgestone irons.
They're strong already. See, that was 65. That's probably 7,000 XS, 65, 61 RX.
You're happy with your window here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe
Golly.
a touch less because you turned that over a bit.
Yeah.
63, 67. Yeah. There's that piece of wood again.
Yeah. Then let's
You want to hit contact?
yeah,
We've got
this one will be
we got a
the
sleeve right here.
this one will be the lowest spin. So this will be like I probably won't even spin this 6,000.
So we moved into E12 contact.
Yep. But driver, this is a beast on driver.
And then this is like you had mentioned, contact force dimple, which is definitely it's almost like the dual dimple design on
Yeah.
steroids, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
You also put an incredible swing on that one. So
Yeah, that was a good one.
you waste all these tonight. I don't want to get abused tomorrow on the golf
See, a
course.
little
okay?
longer. That one's the first one I hit pin high pretty much.
Seems like if I was a fitter, Otto's going to tell you to play the E12.
Yeah. 62-41.
Yeah.
So RX still kind of holds it.
Yep.
You don't have to worry about greenside spin when you're dropping them to 10 feet.
Yeah, exactly.
What would the spin difference be on full swings between, let's say, RX and RXS? Very similar, correct?
Yeah, pretty close on full swings when you get past like 7 or 8 iron. But like on the lower irons, you're going to get a little bit of difference. RXS is still going to spin more because it's, obviously a softer cover. But when you start moving into fuller shots and activating the core, both of them have a soft core compression. So they're going to start matching up a little bit. See, that was 167. It was a good carry. That's a long 8 iron. This feels like it's giving me some help.
6,052.
Wee.
But you also put like 2 extremely good strikes
Yeah.
on those first couple of E12. Still dancing.
Yep. Still push. See, it's hard for me to cut the ball.
Yeah.
I just don't play that shot. So.
Adam, did they ever have a hole like this at Haircut?
Dude,
So
you're killing me with an Airco question here.
What is an Airco?
It was a golf course that I worked at. It was one of the first golf courses that I worked at in Tampa.
Oh, go in the hole.
Or pretty much, no, it's way short. I was trying to cut one in there. That I worked at close to Clearwater.
Let's switch it out.
And yep. Big old municipal county ran golf course. One of Josh Babbitt's favorite tracks, I think.
Yeah.
It had not a big, but an airport right next to it. So like the Coast Guard would fly in over the 10th hole. It was kind of cool. The wind sometimes would call them to crawl in, so they come like over you and kind of ease into you as you're trying to drive down the par 5. Yep.
We find something. Okay. Old Faithful.
There you go.
There we go. 69.
Little Cuddy.
Interesting.
What ball?
So that's RX.
RX, yeah.
I put a good move on that.
Yeah, that's plenty of spin, especially for a little cut shot.
Are there any differences in the balls between U.S. and Japan?
Nope. Not anymore.
Can you
that one's
repeat
got
that
to turn
question,
over.
Dan?
Yeah, the
is
question was,
okay,
is there any differences between the specs between the U.S. market and Japan market of the Torpy? And the answer is no. They are the same. There has been years to where we did have a little difference, and Japan required a little firmer or softer cover with their consumer marketing versus us. So I think the last version that did that was the 2018, where their X was a little bit firmer than ours. But as far as this year and the 2020 ball, they were the same specification. They don't have the Rx and Rxs, which is a shame in my opinion. I think their market could really do for the Rx and Rxs and the lower compression. They sometimes they basically have a spec that's similar to E12 Contact, and it's really popular in their market as well.
So that was I switched the Old Faithful irons. We got X-Forge CB 8 iron in the
gotcha.
bag. Yeah.
Oh, I gotcha.
And that was with RX. I'm really curious when I put X into play what it looks like.
God, these look good.
Because I hit that one pretty good, 121 ball speed.
Yeah.
You think this is going to go up 1 or 2 mile or no?
What is this one you're hitting now?
This is X.
X? Yeah, you're probably going to hit it a little further because you're not overspinning it. So this one's going to go. Now, if you were overspinning it, obviously you'd hit it shorter because it may have it's more spin than the RX, but you are certainly not overspinning the ball, even with 8 iron.
Someone asked what JGR compares to, and I don't know the context.
What does JGR compare to?
I can answer it either way. I mean, they may be talking about like club. They may be talking about
JGR ball.
the ball. Yeah, the ball is similar to the E12 Contact, but it is a firmer model than the E12. So they're both 3-piece Surlyn products, but their JGR ball is a firmer compression than the E12
like
Contact.
The E12 speed you used to have?
Kinda.
Okay.
Yeah. That's fair to say. Yeah, it'd be kind of like the E12 speed model that's a little bit firmer off the face.
Question from social. Do you use the same cores in the Torpy in the E series?
Is it the same core as the Torpy than the E series?
No, there's a specific core design for each of them. We don't cross over. In some older generations, the RX and the RXS would share a core, and the mantle layer would be different, and the cover would be different. But again, I don't think the last. Oh, that was a nice one. I think the last time we shared a core between the RX and RXS was in 2016, maybe 2014. So each ball has their own specific core design, even through the E series. Great question.
Another question from social. The last time you guys had clubs, you also made a putter.
Okay.
They still have putters in Japan. Is that something that would come over here?
All right. Question was, last time we had clubs, we also offered putter. Would that come back over here? Japan has the putter, kind of that TD design that we had before. They still have a few that they're kind of working through. Club questions are tough for me, to be quite honest. I mean, the best thing I could say is our club guy is working with Japan now as R&D team, and clubs is something we'd want to bring back for sure. I don't have a definitive answer either way if we 100% are or not, but and I don't quite. Ooh, that's right over the stick. Sit. I don't know if we'll bring back putters. There's been talk obviously internally of new putters and milled or inserts like we had with the True Balance, but I don't have a great answer for that. So that's all I can do.
Ball question for you. When will Otto begin touring the United States?
Great question. Really like that question. So
The question is,
the question is, when will Otto kind of hit the United States and be all over the place? We're working kind of behind the scenes with a few of our reps now to get him out there. Next week when we're in Augusta, we're going to have all 3 of our systems kind of activating. I was going to get on. Nope. We have 3 of our systems kind of activating at different things in Masters Week. And then we're going to start sending them out. I expect them to be late April, early May to start hitting some spots all across the nation. We'll start distributing them all the way up to California and hopefully up to North and South Carolina and some of the Sun Belt, places as well. And we want to build some more of these models. We have 3 right now. We have a 4th that's getting built right now and getting outfitted with the launch monitor. But we want to get them out there and kind of, right now we're kind of working on the distribution model of who's going to get them and what's the best way to get them into some green grass facilities and some retail shops for a good usage.
is there like a current number? Do you have an idea of how many are in production?
4 is where we're at right now. And, that puts 1 in each territory. We have a west, east, and central territory. So we're going to kind of rotate them through there, and then we hope to build a couple more. We're going to keep 1 obviously in Atlanta at our home office and kind of use and, kind of go from there. We'd love to build 20 or 30 of these things, but we're kind of still in the testing mode and figuring out what's the best, number as far as diminishing return on building enough.
Okay.
Guys, we're going to take a couple more questions and then we're going to wrap this up.
So we'll put Adam in the hot seat. I'm going to hit 1 or 2 more, and then we'll get him up here answering questions while he's hitting. Yeah.
Can you tell people that are tuning in, stay tuned. Tomorrow we're going to give away some golf balls on the forum. Yeah.
So for those of you who are still hanging out, stay tuned. Tomorrow we're going to get some golf ball giveaways going on the forum. Keep an eye out for that. As Adam shows them off, we're going to live post some action from the golf course. Likely going to get Otto involved, who's, I'm pretty confident, going to fit me better than Mr. Rayberg does.
I know.
That might be a competition.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So we'll take a couple more questions and then wrap it up for the night.
Somebody's got to make one.
I was trying to do some goofy stuff here with the XS, but I'm just screwing my swing up. So
we'll have to get maybe some side bets going for tomorrow.
Yeah. All right. Show me what you got.
What are you playing at these days?
My current handicap.
What's your handicap?
I'm like what is March? Are we in March still? I'm like a March 8.
March 8.
Yeah.
You're a 3.8?
Sure. I'll take that. I'll take 3.8.
Okay, so here's an interesting question that came through social. With the RXS, with the addition of that line several years ago, and obviously it's been a little more than several years, what was the reasoning for bringing that one in?
Oh, great question. The reason we brought in the RXS to the RX series line is because a lot of players like the RX, but needed something that spun a little bit more around the greens. And so their next step was to go back up to B330S at the time. and that ball was a little bit firmer back then. So it kind of separated that spin off the tee versus, you know, getting some juice around the greens. So the RXS was built kind of off the heritage of RX, and we put a softer cover on it. So you get kind of the feel of the RX and keep the spin down off driver, but then get a little extra spin around the greens. So that's kind of where that came from. It seemed like the obvious, like when we launched B330, it was like we actually launched B330 by itself. The black box, it was the only ball. And people loved it because it was hard as a brick and went forever. But then everybody said, God, I need more spin. So then we brought in B330S. So then the same thing kind of happened with the RX model. We brought it, and then consumers demanded a little bit more spin. And so we brought in RXS. Oh, see if I can make one here.
Yeah, ask the people in the chat what ball they play out of the Bridgestone lineup.
So I'm actually pretty curious, and so is Josh. For those who are familiar with Bridgestone balls and are hanging out in the chat, which ball do you guys play? What is the go-to if you see all 4 boxes in a row?
That was a pretty good one here.
Yeah, not bad.
It's better than a few of those out in the pond. So,
Adam, how close is driver spin between RX and RXS?
Pretty darn close.
So we're asking about driver spin between RX
and RXS. Yeah.
And then we can probably answer that for everything. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty close. RX and RXS off the tee. They start tightening up. And then the X and XS are kind of up there too. XS has a little bit more separation than X as far as spin wise in those 2 categories. The thing I like about X2 that people don't realize is it's actually a lower compression than X. X and XS are a little bit different compression too. They're not very tight like RX and RXS. That's built specifically in a reason for spin, to knock down some spin off of XS off the tee. Because a lot of players in our old version, the B330S, overspun B330S because it'd fly up there. So we really set out to kind of get some spin off of XS, but then still give around the greens. So off the tee, it goes like this. RX is your lowest spin. Then it's going to be RXS. Then it's going to be X, and then it's going to be XS. XS is going to have the most spin off the tee. Those 2 are going to be close together, and then the bottom 2 are going to be really close together as far as spin is concerned.
Josh, are there any other questions coming in?
No, people are just naming off their balls. So why don't we have Adam take one shot and we'll sign off?
Sounds good. If he likes it.
What am I supposed to do?
Well, you can either take that as your last ball, or this is.
Oh no, I got to hit a little draw pin high,
right.
And then we'll be done. All right, I got to work one out to the right. That was below the hole. Not too bad. 63.
One of your better results.
Yeah, I was trying to hit a little cut. 12-footer. That's what I feel like I can cut it in a little better on this one. Then let's see. Little cut.
Oh, he did it. Overcooked.
Yeah, just didn't get there though.
Yeah.
Sign us off, man.
I'll take it.
All right, everyone. Hey, thanks so much for joining us tonight. It was super fun. Adam, thanks for being here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Catching us a little bit early to get some reps in before
Yeah.
tomorrow. So, yeah, we'll have some more content like we mentioned. Stay tuned on the forum. There's gonna be some giveaways, some golf balls. I won't be competitive against the blue, the green, and maybe the black boxes, but good luck finding the red ones. So, hey man, thanks so much for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Happy to be here, and thanks for letting me hit a few shots and talk about golf balls and tentative Tiger Woods appearances.
Yeah, we're all excited for that, and obviously the Masters in general. So
yeah.
we'll see you guys. I guess we'll chat with you guys tomorrow.